Easy scalping mechanical turtle soup or liquidity sweep strategy using only two time frames. This is what I'll show you today from A to Z. Lots of people actually charges huge amount of money to teach turtle soups but never get to the point, and I'll do the opposite today for free. Make sure to like and share this video. Let's get into it. Now, we've talked about turtle soup or liquidity sweep a lot of the times. I mean, my whole channel is all based on liquidity and liquidity sweep. So, in simple words, for the people who are not familiar with turtle soup, it's nothing but a fake breakout. So you see, we have, for example, this range, and it could be in range, it could be only highs and lows. It happens all the time. So let's say we have this range, we have this high and this low, and everything is inside. So we created a range inside without breaking the high, without breaking the low. So a lot of people now, what they're going to be doing is looking for a breakout in any of those highs or lows, right? So we have this main high and this main low. Anytime we go above a high or below a low, what they're considering and waiting for is a breakout. So anytime price goes above this, they're going long with a limit order here, or buy stop actually, to go up and continue going up, right? But in reality, what's going to happen is if we have a range before the real breakout happens, what's going to happen is a manipulation, right? So if the range wants to go higher, so if the real breakout is going to be to the upside, and what's going to happen here is price taking this range low, sweeping below, manipulating, convincing people to enter shorts, and then going up. What's going to happen here is people who are having sell stop, the order is being filled, price goes lower, stop loss above this, and they lose the trade because price returns back into the range. There are also people who are trading support and resistance, and they are entering long from here, and they're also lost. People who are entering short, they're also lost. So both people shorting and longing here are losing. What we need to do is enter on this and work on this on the right way, and that's what I'm going to show you today. And then you see, after this manipulation, the direction is very clear, which is to the upside and to the range high. So what we're trying to do here is enter on here, or maybe after it, right? The manipulation is going to decide the direction. It's going to tell you what the bias is. So keeping it simple, I've talked about turtle soup a lot of the times, but this is a different strategy that I introduced for the first time. So what is a turtle soup? It's nothing but a fake breakout. Now for this simple strategy, all I need is two indicators in order to use this. Now make sure to watch my other videos about high probability liquidity sweeps and all of the videos about fair value gaps, because those are gonna make you better performing in this strategy. But there is 100% mechanical way to perform this strategy too. So feel free to do it your way. So what I need is sessions indicator. It's gonna highlight the time that I trade. The sessions timing are Asia, we have 20 to midnight. London is 2 to 5 and New York is 7 to 10. All those times are in New York time zone. Now we also need to have fractals. The settings for the fractal is a period of 2. It's gonna mark the highs and lows, the valid ones, the significant ones, where I can actually target those, right? Or enter of those with a sweep. So either targeting or entering off. And we're gonna discuss this more on the example, so do not worry about this. Now there is 100% mechanical way or mechanical strategy in this video, and it's based on sessions highs and lows, but it doesn't happen all the time. So it's gonna actually minimize the number of trades that are gonna be taken, but we're still gonna discuss this and we're gonna show some examples based on this. But the more experience and the more knowledge that you have, the better you become at turtle soup, and you can actually identify some highs and lows that are not sessions highs and lows, but you can see based on your experience, based on the videos that I posted, if you watch them and master them, you're gonna know that, oh, actually this high looks like it's a valid for a turtle soup. This low is not valid. So you're gonna have that experience in order to know which high and which low to go with. But feel free, if you're a beginner, to follow this mechanical strategy based on the sessions highs and lows. Opening price. Probably you have never seen an entry like this. So the way that I'm going to show you the entry, it's not based on change in state delivery, even though sometimes it could be, but it's not based on that. It's based on the opening price. So this is by itself is an entry, a risky one on turtle soup. So you could actually apply this on your way of turtle soup. So let's say you're good at spotting highs and lows, almost 100% mechanical way to enter your trade. So what we're going to be discussing here opening price, and this is my gift to you. So what you're looking for is, this is a bearish scenario, this is a bullish scenario. All I want to see is, let's say, a liquidity sweep here. You see we're not closing above that, we're only wicking. Now we have this candle closing here. Remember, the closing price of this bullish candle is actually the opening price of the next candle. So any closing price of any candle is the opening price of the next candle. This candle closes here, opening is here. This candle also closes here, the opening is here. So based on this opening price, I only want to mark this. So let's say I see a sweep here. I'll be marking this level here, and I would enter based on it, and I'll show you how. Again, on the bullish example, I want to see a sweep, no body closure, but be flexible with it, because if you see a small body closure, but still a big wick and a big projection, we can still take it, because this could be nothing but a wick on the lower time frame. What matters the most is not the closing of the candle. What matters the most is the displacement. So if I see a displacement above a specific high or low, then I can determine if this is a valid opportunity to enter on a total sweep. It's not only about the body closure, but I'm explaining this on the easiest way. That's why I'm saying body closures, because it actually simplifies stuff. The steps of the trading plan, the first one is mark highs and lows. And if you follow the mechanical way, you could mark the sessions highs and lows. And I really prefer to have POIs, for example, fair value gaps, above or below those highs and lows. And then we wait for price to sweep those highs and lows, or sessions highs and lows, in kill zones. So only taking trades win 2 to 5 and 7 to 10. That's it. London kill zone and your kill zone. And I don't want to see a body closure. You know, a body closure, a small one, is still valid, but I really prefer to see no body closure, especially with a displacement on the 15-minute. So 15-minute is the first time frame that we're going to be using. And then what we're going to do is mark the closing price of that rejection candle. So you see, no body closure. What does that mean? A rejection candle with a wick. I'm going to mark the closing price, which is going to be the opening price for the next candle. So mark the body high, win bearish, and body low, win bullish. So what we are focusing on is not the wicks. The wicks confirm that we have maybe a rejection, but then the bodies tells me where to go long from or to go short from. So we're going to be marking body high, win bearish, and body low, win bullish. And then we're going to look for body closures above or below the opening levels in the 1 minute time frame. So you see, we're going from 15-minute to 1 minute. That's the protocol here. And then we're going to either market or limit order. And then we're going to be targeting the next fractal high or low, or you could target the sessions, previous session highs and lows. Or if you're entering on London, there is a sweep of the Asian low, then I'm going to be targeting the Asian high. We're going to discuss all of this in the example. 5 steps that are very easy, almost a mechanical way, except only one thing, the highs and lows. So picking the highs and lows is going to be subjective, right? And this is all based on your experience. The more you get good at spotting those highs and lows that are valid, the more you're going to get better at this strategy. Now let's go over some examples. I'm going to switch to trading view, go over different examples that happen on Euro USD, right, for the previous weeks, and see how we can actually deal with this. And then we can see how can we look at sessions highs and lows, how we can actually look at different highs and lows. Now, so we have a lot of different examples here. I mean, when just looking at the sessions highs and lows, if that's going to be our focus for, the beginning, but then we can go and look at all highs and lows, different highs and lows actually. So for the sessions highs and lows, for example, I can see that in this day, this is Asian session from 20 to midnight. This is London session, and this is New York. I mean, when marking the low of the Asian session, what we can see, and also the high, right? So this is the high of the Asian session. What I can see happening is price sweeping that low and not closing below. So that's a valid entry. And all of this is happening inside of what? This order block right here. So you have an order block that price is coming back to and started going higher. Now the same thing is also happening where? Exactly right here. So this is Asian session, marking the low, price is not closing below, right? It's not closing below, and there is no displacement at that level, and then going higher. And also there is not much displacement above this one. You see, not really much displacement, and price was actually reacting off a fair value gap here, a very small one fair value gap here. Now the same thing happened where? Again, at this level here. You see, this London high was taken exactly right here. Nobody closure above and only a wick. So this happened a lot. Now some days it's not going to be happening all the time. It's going to be different highs and lows. So you see, this is not the London low, but it was taken here, and that's a valid entry on the 15 minutes. Now, let's see how we can actually enter based on those. So let's say this example right here. So using the replay, right, what we see is at 2 a.m., exactly at the London kill zone, what happened is price swept below this, and what I see is no displacement below that point. And what is telling me now is that based on my last video, that no displacement below a point, it means that we're heading to the next high that caused that low. So this is the high that was responsible for this low. There was no displacement here. So it looks like, especially that there is no inducement here, price is going to head to that high, right? So this is what we see here. Now this is the sweep. What I'm going to do, take this line and mark my closing price, or the body low in this case. That's my body low. I'm going to simply switch to 1 minute time frame and see what is happening in there. So the 1 minute time frame, what we see here is this. This is the opening price of the next candle. If we close above right now, that means this is a valid entry. If we start to go lower and close with a displacement below this level and not come back immediately, then it means that this is not valid entry. So playing the price action, you see we're going lower and only sweeping, so not really a displacement. And then still, okay, now we're closing above. So now this is a valid entry, turtle soup entry. Entry here, stop loss. You see this low here, a little bit below it, so something like this. Then targeting the next fractal high. Now, if I enable my fractal indicator, right? This is the fractal indicator. On the 15 minutes, this is going to be the fractal high. This is your entry right here. This is 421. Back to 15 minutes. You see, that's your fractal high here. But this is going to be also a fractal high in the future. And this is the nearest high. Otherwise, we should have been targeting the Asian high, and that's a little bit too far. So you could have extended it all the way there, but that's, 14 to 1. It could work, but the probability is lower, right? So back to 15 minutes, and let's see what happened now. So almost rise to that high, started going higher, and this is your take profit. And you see, price started to go higher, so maybe it's gonna go to Asian high, and there you go. So that could have been either 4 to 1 or 15 to 1, a huge one, right? This is the way that we follow. Now, again, the same thing here. What happened is no displacement above this high. Actually, it's a little bit of a displacement, but price was coming to this order block and you were seeing this. So this is a little bit, of an advanced entry. We could have discussed this on another video, but it's going to give you a nice entry. Now playing the price action, right? You see, closing below this, there was not much displacement, but price closed below and then started going lower. Now let's see. Yeah, there you go. That's another entry right here. Now this is after news, but you see how you can actually, perform this even before news, and it's going to give you nice entries. So this is body high, right? This is the opening price of the next candle, switching to 1 minute time frame. If we close below, then that means, we're going lower. But after that, there is news. So you're not going to get an opportunity here. But it was a perfect one if it was late with, like 1 minute late or 2 minutes late. You could have entered, and then price is going to go there. So back to 15 minutes, and let's see the next days. So playing the price action, just want to see what is happening here. Now you should remember that we're only trading kill zone. So you see next day here, we have Asian low, Asian high. I want to wait for price to sweep only with a wick. And what we see here is that, okay, we're breaking here, only a wick and no displacement. I could take this line, put it at the closing price, which is going to be the opening price of the next candle, back to 1 minute time frame. And I want to see, you see, so now we're very close to that line. If we close above, then that's a valid entry. If not, then we're going to wait for a closure above. This is 459. Most of the time, I'm not going to enter this one because it's at the end of the kill zone. But you could, it depends on your risk, right? Now you see we started going lower, but not much displacement below this point. We started to go up, and there you go. That's a closure above. That's your entry here. You could have also waited for a retracement. If you're not confident about entering here, a market order, you could wait for price to come back to a specific level. But for now, let's focus on this, just market orders. Stop loss below the low. What I could do now is go back to 15 minutes. The nearest fractal high is this one. That's already a 6 to 1. Now you could have also taken this one right here, Asian high here. Now back to 1 minute time frame, playing the price action, started to go higher, lower. So that's a stop loss. That's the problem with, that kill zone. But now you still have this line. If you were able to take another entry, right? Based on the same line you could have. So playing the price action more, any closure now above, or even if you go to 15 minutes again, but that's something that is advanced. I would say when this happened, just forget about it. You see, we have another opening price here where we did not close below the old wick. So that's another valid entry. But you know, at the end, all of this is after kill zone. So, I mean, the first entry I would not be willing to take, right? So you see, we're not closing above. And there you go. That's a closure above. You could have taken this one only if you're willing to take entries after kill zone and then targeting what? That high that we discussed. So this is the first fractal high. Now playing the price action here, you can see that started to go up. Back to 15 minutes. It's going up, coming lower, going up to that level. Now take a look at this. We took this previous London high. Did we have an entry here? Back to this. We have this opening price of the next candle. Now we go to 1 minute time frame and let's take a look if we have an opportunity. So you see, the opportunity is going to come if we close below this level, right? Now let's wait. Did we close? Not really. Started to go up. Not really. You see how strong this level is? That's why we decide to go short from here, only from here when we get a closure below. And then you see, price started to go up. So that's the strength of the level that we're marking. Now back to 15 minutes, we have this Asian high. We took this Asian high with a displacement. So not really a valid entry. Now, when it comes to any high or low, you gotta make sure that you pick the right one, and how to do that, it's all based on my videos. So make sure to watch my videos to know which one is a high probability liquidity level, which one is not. You see, when picking any levels, you see this is a level that not swept, right? So we're gonna ignore this. This is a New York level that was swept, but after kill zone, even though it worked, but it's not valid. One that we're gonna be taking in real trading if we did is this one here. So this one targeting this low, that's one. And also this low targeting this high, that's two. Another one is this high targeting this low. There you go. And we're not going to be entering this because it's out of kill zone. Now the same logic here. What happened is this high, and then we're going to enter, but this one is not going to give us a lot of profits. Now taking a look at this, we can see that we actually have this Asian low taken, small body closure, but still not much displacement. We could have entered on this one at the high of the agent, not this one, but this one. Body closure above, so not really interested, and a big one actually. This one here, you see a small body closure on the New York kill zone, and we could have actually taken this one. You see a small body, but then a big wick. So even if we see a small body, but then a big wick here, we can actually consider this as a rejection already. We have another level that is right here. And that's going to be another re-entry, as well as this one. Those are two entries in a row. So looking at this, for example, using the replay, I'll be marking the body high in this case. So that's your body high. I'll be going to 1 minute time frame, and any closure below this level, that's our entry. And yeah, that's a body closure below. So I'm going to be entering from here, stop loss just above the high. And then what I can target is a 15-minute low, right? A fractal low on the 15 minutes, where is a 1. So we got a lot of internal here for value gaps, and we got this external low or fractal low. So back to 1 minute just to adjust the positions here, and I'll be targeting this one here. Now you can wait for a retracement, right? So could have waited for a small retracement here, but just to ensure that we're getting an entry and playing the price action, we can see that started to go lower. Now back to 15 minutes to see what happened. We see that started to go lower, 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 and then very close to the take profit. What happened here is we create another high into this big order block. And what happened is to sweep that level, marking the body high. But in this case, this is a very good case study. So we're not going to want to enter on this. Why? Because we can see the drawn liquidity is very close. That's the first thing. And this candle right here is very aggressive. So it wicked above, and this is the opening price of the candle. But you see how bearish it is. It closes here. So it's very bearish. I don't want to enter on this because the closure is going to be somewhere in here, and stop loss is above here. So it's not going to be worth it when it comes to reward to risk, right? So anything like this, I would avoid. I want to look at some candles like this. So a bullish candle wicking here is going to give me a good entry. I don't want to enter on this big bearish candle, right? So price continue going lower, taking that low there. So a lot of opportunities using this method here. And even this one I would say I'm not really, you see body low is here, we get an entry, but it's not really convincing because there's a big wick that is gonna make my stop loss too big, right? I want to take ones with a tight stop loss. For example, this one here, you see, not really a big body closure above. There you go here. And we started going lower immediately. So you see, not a big body closure, and also inside of what? A fair value gap. So this one right here is a very high probability one, taking London's high with a small body closure, not a big wick in this case. So it's going to be a little bit tricky, but you see, that's a valid one there. Now on the 1 minute, this is the opening price of the next candle. If we close below, that's an entry. But remember that this is a little bit, too risky to trade. So when you get to that advanced level, you could actually execute this. I'll put it above the high and then back to 15 minutes to look at the fractal low. You can actually see this one and also the London low, previous London low, getting the price action, price immediately going there and much more profit, right? So this is a very nice tail soup strategy, very easy. It could be a mechanical way. It could be also subjective when it comes to highs and lows. Do your best. I'm planning to actually make a back testing. Actually, I've done a short back testing of a month or two, and it gave 10% gain on the account while actually applying every fractal high and low. So I was doing the back testing with every fractal high, every fractal low in the kill zones, and that's what I got. There's sometimes where you get, 6 to 1, 7 to 1, and there's sometimes where you get 3 losing streaks. It's not because I don't know which high or low to be taken. It's just that I was pretending to know nothing and only apply on the highs and lows, the fractal ones. I tried to follow the mechanical way and it was still profitable. So imagine when you apply your experience, when you apply your knowledge into this, it's going to get much better. So if you wanted a backtesting video about this, let me know. This is it for the video. Make sure to leave a like, share this video with your friends, leave a comment as appreciation. This is Mulham and I'll see you next video.